obvious first question, Trent. How are you feeling? How's the shoulder?
Feel all right. Feel all right. Be okay.
Well, what exactly happened there?
I was trying to go back in to help my guard, and I ended up tripping over his dude's feet, and I just came down on my elbow, but it, obviously affected my shoulder. So.
You looked a little emotional coming off the field. Were you surprised by how positive the news was?
Yeah. I honestly, didn't think I had to come out. I got up, and then I think maybe it took me a little minute. I don't know, but we were kind of up against the play clock as well, so it was kind of a collective, discussion. Like, just go down so we can at least. Okay, it was fourth down, but I'm like, man, I ain't trying to come out on the most important, possession of the game. But yeah, I mean, when I went to the tent, they were just kind of concerned, about the place of all the pain, and so they just wanted to go get an X-ray really quick before they sent me back out there. So that's why I looked pissed, because I was really, I felt like that was the worst time to be leaving the game.
And you had gone back and forth to the locker room on cramps too. Have you ever done anything like that before in a game where you get carted back onto a field?
No, the cart was just for convenience.
Yeah.
Save the time. Plus, I don't know if I would have made it to the locker room without cramping. But it cramps are, it's a different thing, man. And it's just like it was an internal discussion. Like, do I say something now, or do I wait till I lock up? And that could be in the middle of a third down while I'm trying to protect the quarterback. And so I had to come to terms with myself. I didn't want to be a liability, so luckily we picked the right time to go get the IV, and I ain't miss a play. So
you feel you'll be protecting the quarterback this Sunday?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you feel that you'll be protecting the quarterback named Trey Lance this Sunday?
I don't know. We'll see how Jimmy comes along with it. I'll let Coach make that decision, but I got my job cut out for me, so that's all I'm focusing on.
How have you helped prep Trey for a potential start on Sunday?
Oh, I don't think I've done anything to help him. I'm not qualified for the help that he would need, but I'd just be a confidant, somebody he can kind of lean on or something. But as far as playing quarterback in the National Football League, I'm not the expert on that.
Have you seen him improve in camp and in games since training camp?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. He's a very sharp kid. You see him improve play by play, even after running play twice. The second time he runs it, he's well ahead. So, I mean, he's a smart guy. That's why he got picked where he got picked. I mean, the information is nothing for him. It's just getting in the groove. And, like I said, starting in the National Football League, starting quarterback is the hardest position in football, maybe in sports. So, that's a tough deal, and it takes a little time. And, luckily, I mean, hopefully we can, kind of rally around him and if need to, and make his job a little easier on him. But that's a battle for Trey to fight, and that's why he's where he at.
On Sunday, at times it was messy and frantic and stuff, but you look back and you hit those 2 touchdown passes and went to 43 yards and took one conversion around, like he did stuff, and maybe he muscled through a lot. But I mean, do you see something there, whether it's his competitiveness or will, just to kind of make things happen when maybe he's not quite ready for all this?
Yeah, I think it was all competitive nature and will, and just knowing how to compete and competing at a high level. I mean, we literally, even at making halftime adjustments, we had no idea that Jimmy wasn't going. So he literally learned that he was going as we were running to take the field, and obviously we get the ball first. So he didn't have but a few minutes just to get his mind right. He sat on. It's been for him, it's probably an hour and a half since he last stretched, in pregame warm-up. So that's a pretty tough deal to do. I've never had to do that, so I can't really give him advice on that. But I think he handled it pretty well. He looked like he was ready for the moment. He didn't look like it was a shocker to him. He didn't look like he was timid in any way. He actually had a confident aura around him where you just kind of start to believe in him the more you're around him. So we knew that we had our work cut out for us, especially in the second half. But I feel like for what situation he was put in, I don't think we could ask for anything better.
As an offensive lineman, when plays start to break down and he looks to escape the pocket, is there an adjustment just trying to figure out like where he's trying to escape and how to adjust to that?
No, try not to hold. You know what I mean, that's when most of the hold penalties come is, you know, when the plays break down and you know, the guy you're blocking all of a sudden goes a different way than you're expecting. So I think the only challenge is just trying to avoid the flag on that. You know, most times when he's pulling the ball down to run, he's running off instinct, and you know, so it'd be no way we can kind of predict which way it's going to be an escape route.
How is,
Go ahead. I don't know if you're in a hurry to be back in Arizona after ending last year there. Does it bring up any emotions, like thinking back on what that was? Like, what was that experience like?
I hadn't even thought about it till you said that. I mean, it's just something we had to do. I didn't look at it as something that was emotional or unfair or anything. I was just like, you know, and during 2020, the year we all had to make some adjustments, and that was one of the things we had to do. We had to make adjustments on the fly, and I mean, we couldn't complain about it. We still had teams coming in Arizona instead of San Francisco wanting to kick our butts. So, I mean, we could have sat and pout about it, but it wouldn't have changed the scenario. So, I honestly didn't even think about it until you just brought it up.
Sorry.
I'm glad. We got real familiar with the stadium, so I mean, it'll probably be a few thousand screaming fans in there this time, so maybe a little different.
I know we asked you a little bit about it in training camp, but now that you've had more time with Trey here and seeing him get integrated into the offense, so I mean, you were on that Washington team in 2012 with RG3. Are there similarities in this offense that are going to be run, and how much do you think the offense has evolved with what Trey's going to run potentially versus what Robert ran in that
Yeah,
season?
I think from what Robert ran and what Trey is running now, I mean, it's still read option, so to speak, but I don't think it's not a lot of parallels you could draw from 2012 to now. I mean, Cal is, he was 30 then, his second year offensive coordinator. So now, you know, it's completely different. Schemes are way more intricate. You know, there's a lot of things that plays off of that, a lot of plays that look like that and can be something else. So it's totally different. So I don't even really, it's hard to draw parallels to the situation.
Mike McDaniel talked about how the challenge for them during the offseason was making the offense feasible for both Jimmy and Trey. Do you see a lot of difference in what you have done last year versus this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we added in the whole type of package that Trey basically specializes in, and so I think that's the biggest difference. We got a lot of read option stuff in, a lot of movement stuff, getting the quarterback outside the pocket, a lot of quarterback runs that obviously we wouldn't run with Jimmy. So yeah, I mean, Mike and Cal, they're some of the smartest football minds you come around. So you give them an off-season scheme up thing, they're gonna come up with some pretty cool schemes and pretty nice ways to open up weapons down the field. So, I got total trust in them, and just looking at the schemes that they came up with and during the camp and now just for him, you don't have anything. It's hard not to have confidence in it, because on paper it looks really good. Now we got to go out there on Sunday and make it happen, but I'm definitely impressed with what they've done.
I know you guys have had injuries at running back, and the running game got going a little bit more against the Seahawks. But from an offensive line perspective, what needs to change for you guys to get going with the running game in the way that you guys have used to?
I thought we ran the ball pretty well versus Seattle, especially the first half. We controlled it. I think some of those key turnovers hurt us, to where we couldn't continue with our game plan and how we wanted to run it. But the run, it's gonna be like that. You never get out and say, all right, we just gonna run the ball down these people's throat. You never know. Like, you can have a team that's last versus run and just have a good scheme versus what you like to do, and the run game can be slow. Or you can have somebody that's first against the run and just really be out schemed, and you can gash them. So, it's football, man. I've been doing this a long time. There's no two things that are the same, and when we get off the bus, you really don't know how the game is going to go until that ball gets kicked off and you get a couple series. You just never know. So it's hard to answer your question. I know that long as we continue to be kind of on it and focus and play together, I think we can always get the running game going. But like I said, that's a lot easier said than done. So
What makes Chandler Jones a special pass rusher?
Just the ability to do everything.
Mm.
He's right now at the pinnacle of pass rusher. When you talk about the NFL today, he's at the pinnacle. He's the top. So, and I think he is that way because of his large array of moves. He can power you. He can quick inside. He can get around the edge. He can do everything. So that what makes him so tough to block, so tough to contain, and so that's why I said I got my work cut out for me. We got a lot of battles in the that we've archived, but every game is different, and I know that every game I play him, he brings everything he got. He gives me the hardest test all year, so that's what I'm expecting. It sucks we got to play him twice a year, but it's coming with the territory.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Trent.
Thanks, Trent.